a pretense, the reason that I'm doing this video is because my YouTube career inspirer slash friend, that's disgusting, Jacob, is always telling me that every single time that I come to work and I'm just like, oh my god, Jacob, I have to tell you this story. And then I tell him the story. He's like, why don't you put stuff like that on your YouTube channel? And I'm like, you can't just tell a story nonchalant on the spot to a video camera. You can't just do that. And I'm always super 100% like, I believe that. But today, I don't know, I'm in story mode or something. Basically, I'm just going to tell you guys my story ever since I left work. And Ken is going to be super difficult and look at his phone, but that's totally okay because I don't mind.
I didn't choose to be in this video.
Aw, don't be so happy. You're so happy.
Do your video.
Dog, you're seriously gonna freaking fall. So, I was at work. I was editing my 50 Facts About Me video, which literally has taken me like 2 weeks now just to edit, and I'm still not even done with it completely. But I was editing it, and I got to a point where I was pretty much done, okay? So I decided that I needed 2 objects from my house. So my plan was I was going to get this stuff after I left work. And then after I got done with work and I was leaving, I also remembered that I had to take my prescriptions to CVS. So I took my prescriptions to CVS and I dropped them off, and the lady told me that they would be available tonight. I dropped them off at like 8 something and they closed at 9. So I was like, cool. Thanks. And I was hoping that my dad would be able to pick them up sometime between 8 and 9. Then I went home to get the 2 items, which number 1 was my black belt in karate, and number 2 was my Vote Knowles shirt for the mayor election whenever I was little. And the one that I actually wanted was blue with gold letters, and it was cut down the sides and retied like the blankets that you make out of fleece, and you just cut them and then tie them back together. And it was a t-shirt, and it was super cute, and I loved it. And I mean, I only wore it whenever we were campaigning, because who wears a Vote Knowles shirt to school when your mom's the one that's running for mayor? That just draws all kinds of attractions that you don't need. I went home to get the black belt and the t-shirt, and I ended up getting home and nobody was home, which you don't know my family, but I don't think that they've probably been both gone from the house at the same time whenever I got off of work for, I don't know, probably like a year. So it was crazy. I got home and they were both gone. You're such a brat. Neely, can you please them?
Sure. I'll make an appearance. Just go.
I got home and they were both gone. So I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this is gonna be like the fastest trip home that I've ever had in my whole life. That never happens, because every time I go to my house, it's like I go there with a specific point in mind, and then my parents end up distracting me and talking to me, and plus I have to talk to them or it's disrespectful. So I always make a point to like talk to them, but I don't know, it just ends up taking a lot longer than I would hope for almost every single time that I go home. So I was so excited because I wasn't gonna have to deal with that. And I was also kind of worried that of the 2 items, my black belt was the item that I was worried I wouldn't be able to find, because my black belt was in the nursery in a dresser of drawers, and my mom moves everything and has been on a moving spree for like the past couple years. She literally just finds stuff out of nowhere, and it's just like random little sections of the house, and then she moves all of it to who knows where, and it's never to be seen again. So I was really worried that my mom had moved my black belt and that it wouldn't be in the spot that I thought and hoped that it would be. And my Vote Knowles shirt, I knew for a fact would be in the bottom of my drawers, right? So I get home, I check for the black belt first because I wanted to get the hard stuff out of the way. So of course, my black belt was exactly where I hoped. And I was like, yes, sweet, this is gonna be even faster than I thought. And so then I get my black belt and I walk into my room, and I'm expecting looking for my shirt to be exactly where I knew it was, right? No, of course not. I opened up all my drawers. I ended up searching my entire room. Every single drawer that it could have possibly been in wasn't there. Every single place in my room that it could have possibly been wasn't there. Ended up going up into the attic, looking up there. That was just an eyesore because my parents have added so many more things to the attic than was there even a couple weeks ago. And so that just wasn't happening. So basically, I thought that my t-shirt was going to be easy to find, and it turns out it wasn't. So I ended up being able to find the white one with the blue letters that wasn't all cut up. And so I got that, and that proves that I had the Vote Knowles shirt, and I'll be able to put it in the video really quick. It works for what I want, so I'm okay with that. But to continue my story, I got all my crap. I ended up getting a whole bunch more clothes that I just found out of nowhere because I was looking through all my drawers and I was like, oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. So I got all those clothes. But while I was getting into my car, I was like, well, I better call my dad to make sure that he picks up my prescriptions because you never know when he's coming home, and hopefully he can still do it tonight, and that way I can get my prescriptions tomorrow because I need them. And so I called him and I'm like, hey Dad, what's up? Where are you? Like, why aren't you home? Because you're never not home. Like, that's so weird. And he was like, well, I actually just left CVS. And so then I'm like, what? Like, what are the chances that I call you right whenever you left CVS? So then I was like, oh crap, you better turn around. And he's like, well, they told me that you had medicine that you just dropped off. So I was like, what? How do they know that? How do they know that you're my dad? It's so crazy. And he was like, well, I am there like every other day to get your mom's medicines. And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. So he was like, yeah, of course they know who you are and who I am and that we're related or whatever. Then after that, he was continuing to talk about it. And I was like, so did you get my medicine? Because he just said that they said something. He didn't say that he got it. So I was like, did you get my medicine? And he was like, what are you talking about? What medicine? And I was like, what? Like, what? What are you talking about? You just said it like 10 seconds ago. And so then I'm like all confused. I still am thinking that he's joking. And I keep talking to him about it. I'm like, Dad, my medicine. Like, you just said blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, Dad, yes you do. And he's like, no, I really don't know what you're talking about. Like, what medicine? Was I supposed to pick up something or something? You didn't tell me. And I was like, so you really didn't get my medicine? And I was like, but what? And he was like, Paige, you're such a stooge. Of course I got your medicine. And I was like, no, that's not even fair. So he totally played me for a fool. And he had my medicine the whole time, and he's super manipulative and confusing and too good at joking people for his own good. And so then after all that happened, I was trying to tell him the story about how I planned on going home and I knew that I would be able to find my t-shirt, and I didn't know for a fact that I would be able to find the black belt. And I was telling him why, because Mom and stuff, I didn't know if she would have moved it, and I knew for a fact that my t-shirt would be in my drawer because it's been there for so long and I don't remember moving it. And all he would do the whole entire time was interrupt me. And I was like, Dad, like, stop interrupting me. And he just kept interrupting me every single sentence. And I'm not even exaggerating this at all. He would literally interrupt me and I would be like spitting out sentences as fast as I possibly can, because that's what I do. I talk fast so that way people can't interrupt me, so that way I can get my story out, because people already get annoyed that I'm talking so much and I have to say it all super fast, because otherwise they're gonna get bored and they're gonna walk away, and then I don't get to tell my story, and I love telling stories. So then...
But now people can just shut the video off.
You're such a jerk. So then I was like trying to get him to stop interrupting me, and he just wouldn't do it. And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, this is so weird that he is interrupting me. And I guess he just does this on the phone because he doesn't do this in person. He doesn't interrupt me a lot in person. I mean, he interrupts me to make little spoofs and jokes and whatever about whatever I'm talking about, but it's not interrupting the conversation. It makes the conversation still be able to flow most of the time. Whereas on the phone, like, he literally would just like spew off some kind of random, nonchalant, like completely out of nowhere comment, and he would just continue like talking about whatever he said, and I'm just like, my story, and people have to listen to it because 95% of the time, people don't want to listen to my stories, and everybody always complains that my stories are too long or whatever, and so then I talk fast to get it out, and then I was thinking in my head the whole time while he was telling me all these interruptions that I couldn't believe that he was interrupting me, because usually people never interrupt me because they don't want to listen to me any longer than they have to, so they just go ahead and let me talk and they don't try to interrupt me. And he just kept prolonging the conversation, and I'm like, you're never going to get out of this conversation, because no matter what, I'm going to get my story in, because I do not leave a story untold, and I do not leave details out. So, to continue, I was on the phone, I got off the phone, and he basically was like, well, I guess you should probably come back to the house and get your medicine. And we were actually pulling into the driveway at the exact same time. Then I was like, who's this car in between me and my dad? And it was my mom. So all three of us got home at exactly the same time. And then I found out that my mom got new rims on her Kia, which is totally unfair. Are you listening to a video while I'm doing a video? Turn it off, please.
Shut up.
To continue my story, now that my boyfriend stopped watching a video while I'm trying to take a video, God, so rude. My mom totally freaking got new rims, and it's not even fair because the car looks so much better, and my dad totally made a huge joke out of it because he knew that I would be like so heartbroken, and then he made fun of me for being sad because my mom got cooler rims than me, and it's just not even fair. But at the same time, she totally deserves it because she's an awesome lady and whatever. Finally, whenever we get inside, I'm like, so, since you ran off to the house and you didn't give me my medicine, can I have my medicine? And then we got to talking, and of course, it prolonged the night even longer than what I had planned, but we continued talking, and then finally Ken texted me, and he was like, hey, your food's getting cold, and he had made me food, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So then I was like, parents, my food is getting cold, my boyfriend made it for me, like, please let me leave. I'm not trying to be rude. I love you guys. Bye. So then I left, and then I called Ken, and I was like, so I have this amazing story to tell you. And so I told him all of the stuff that I just told you guys, and then I saw a deer dog in the road. And yes, that is the thing, Ken. It's a fucking deer dog, okay? It was a deer dog, and it wasn't a human bear cat or whatever the hell you said. It was a deer dog. And no, it was not a coyote or a deer or whatever else. It was a deer dog. So then I was like, oh my God, Ken, I just saw a deer dog. He was like, that's not a thing. And I was like, yes, it is a thing. Just like earlier whenever you said a jungle bear.
I said I'm not a jungle gym.
He said, Neely, you're not a jungle bear. And I said, why did you just call the dog a jungle bear? That's not even a thing. And he said, I didn't say that. I said, I'm not a jungle gym. And I said, no, you said jungle bear, because that's totally way better than saying I'm not a jungle gym. Who says that? That's boring. So then I was like, Ken, deer dog, jungle bear, same thing. Duh.
I didn't freaking say jungle bear. I said jungle gym. That doesn't even make sense. Why would I say, Neely, get off me? I'm not a jungle bear.
I said, you're not a jungle bear. Why do you have to be such a butthole? Like, go away if you're going to be a butthole. You're supposed to be funny and fun and entertaining and happy.
When have I ever been happy in one of these?
That's the problem. Because I love you and I want to have memories of you. I'm not lying or joking. That was serious. Okay, so then we talked about how he didn't say jungle bear, and I said that he did say jungle bear. And then after that, he was like, oh my God, I want to get off the phone. So then I was like, okay, get off the phone. Bye, love you. And so we got off the phone, and then I drove home, and I was thinking on the rest of the drive home, oh my God, that was a pretty awesome and amazing story. And like, I just totally like need to make a video like of that. So here we are making a video. I hope you guys liked it. And if you liked it, that was cute, Neely. If you liked it, don't forget to push the thumbs up. Ken, you're such a brat. Get out of the camera.
I wasn't in the camera. Neely was obviously in the camera.
You just made me do that.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
How did I do that when you're the one that grabbed my
You
phone?
pulled it out of my hand and I didn't have
That's
to
like
grab
me just
it.
drop kicking this and be like, it was your fault.
Okay, stop looking at your phone.
It's already over.
No, it's not. I'm not done. Look at the camera.
Okay, cool.
Smile. Be happy.
Smiling at the dog.
Okay, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every single week, and if you don't want to miss them because I suck at organization and scheduling, I do not have a schedule, so don't forget to put your notifications on the on switch for my channel. Bye. Neely, you want to say bye? You're such a brat. Yes! You caught him! Okay.
Okay, bye.
Neely says bye! Take two. I just filmed like 20 minutes worth of freaking shit and I never pushed the record button. So that's just great. Neely, you're so annoying.